And we're live on a Friday then. Saturday, Sunday. What the fuck, God? What the fuck? What's up, everyone? I'm the High Priestess Phoenix. I'm your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil, your personal messenger of God. I am the first child of God, reincarnated, the Lilith. On Friday the 13th, the full moon of Sagittarius. I knew this shit was gonna fuck with me. Son of a monkey. Well, in order to keep up with me, you would have to catch my weenie video last night. Bro, that was an hour-and-a-half video, and only 30 minutes of it came out. It's been happening all week. I'm not sure. It may have to do with something with my phone. I'm not sure. But, I knew what the tower was yesterday, and I've just hit one after another since I ran through that one. Yesterday I was facing, realities about my job. I currently just called off today. I'm kind of manipulating my situation right now. You'd have to catch the video, but ultimately, I guess that part wasn't in there. I'm supposed to be doing an assessment today, and based on my assessment, they'll release me into my new property. Next week, I'm supposed to go to this shit property. And, I just realized, this isn't good. So I took today off so that I can't do the assessment. They are not there on the weekends, so they won't be able to do the assessment till Monday, and that gives me 3 more days to figure this out or just let it go. Which ultimately, it's just going to be letting it go. There's nothing to figure out. I'm not going to sit down with corporate and tell them that they don't know how to do their job. And that's exactly what was supposed to be done today, is for me to do an assessment to show that I can do my job. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I can do this job, if I can do the physical work, if I can't do, if I can't work with others. So I was facing that, and I'm like, alright. I thought about it this morning. I already had plenty of towers this morning, and I'm like, you're asked, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to take this test, and then I have to have that conversation. And I'm not ready to have that conversation. So I was like, as they say, it's not a test. It's not, whatever. So I just didn't. And it didn't stop there. As soon as I put that down last night, I was on the internet, I posted, Royce had shared some shit about, Marshall. No, about, I don't know, who cares, dude? It just set me the fuck off. I was talking about, it's in my community page, it was just a meme, and he said, I don't think Eminem's daughter knows how many rappers lost their career just mentioning her. I don't know why he was praising that. And it set me off completely. It's like, you're proud of your fucking friend's inability to control his temper, and that makes her special. So then I got in there and I talked all kinds of shit about her and Royce and his kids and his unemployed wife. Like attracts like, right? You gotta stand up for those that are just like you. Why are we supporting Eminem and his fucking career when that's all he did was throw fits on the internet? I'm not celebrating this man, and I told him that. You can go to hell, bro. You can stay in hell in this lifetime. I'm not carrying you out of this one. You're gonna have to find the light on your own. Yeah, that hit me. Then this morning, I find out, I use my daughter's phone for a second. I find out that she's got some dude in another place sending her what I say is inappropriate messages. My son made a huge joke out of it and calmed me down. But I'm like, this is just not real, bro. This is just not happening right now. So there's a whole bunch of towers going on around me. It's Friday. I'm going to have to blow through all of them. Overcome all of them. So we're just letting go of that no longer serves us. Right? Eminem was never really serving. He was serving when I was in a shit relationship, shit relationship with the world, just like him. When I run around with a fucking chip on my shoulder, just like him. That's when I can resonate with him. And if you notice, anytime I get into a bad place, I can call out to him, because he knows what it means to be an asshole. That's all he is a walking asshole. A whole fucking spoke. Uncleaned, bleached asshole. You know what I mean? And it's like that. It's like, don't put people above what they are. There's no reason to think that Eminem is anything better. He's done nothing better with his life, and I'm not praising the fucking 40 years of him throwing fits on the fucking internet. That's all he did with his music, was throw fits against people, talk shit about people. He made a whole career about talking shit about people, and people praise that. Of course, some loser like Royce the 5'9" that doesn't have a career of his own would praise somebody like that. And I think about it, if you didn't know the white boy, would you even be known? Would we ever have heard of Royce the 5'9" without Eminem? Probably not. So naturally, you have to keep him on top just so you can keep on the conversation. But going back to just yesterday's video, AI music is going to get rid of all of your negativity. And someone like Timberland is going to make sure that it works. You guys are threatened by the fact that you're no longer needed. Nobody wants to hear the shit that's coming out of your mouth except for the low vibrational people like you. Keep you and your crowds away from humanity. I'm seeing all of you. Listen to your words and what they praise. They praise your fucking low vibrations. They praise your hate, your insecurities, your greed, your envy to be like everyone else. Your overblown God complex where you think you're better than anyone, but you're out here begging to be acknowledged on their level. Marshall's never going to be better than any rapper, because all he is a rapper. You can't be better than the crowd when you're part of the crowd. He wants to stand out as the best rapper. It's impossible. That's literally impossible. You are not the best rapper. You might be the best at fucking rhyming words, but that doesn't make you a rapper. I'm just quiet. I'm waiting for the new generation to fucking wash you out. And they will. Even if it's a computer system that washes your music out of the fucking streams. Fine. So we don't gotta listen to you complain on the radio about how bad your life is, or how great your life is, and how you have so many great things, and how people treated you, and how this and that and the other. Nobody cares. Write a book that nobody will read. That's how I felt about it. So yeah, I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and I'm out. Oh, and then to top it off, I saw, are you about to lose your babysitter? I saw a fucking lunar eclipse tarot out there. Pray for my fall. Why? Your prayers don't work? Why do to make you feel better about what God's doing in your father's life? Prayers are going to stop what God's doing in your father's life. He's old, and you want us to keep him alive so you can use him to watch your kids and make you feel better about your life. You can't let him go. You need more out of him. Your kids need him. You need his energy. You need something from him. That you're going to beg the internet to keep him alive so that you can meet your needs. Is that what you're going to do? The prayers are only to make you feel better. You lack faith. What's happening in his life isn't the devil, it's God. It's his time. And you want people to pray against God. I always find that interesting. It's like your prayers aren't enough, you need other people's faith to keep this person or this thing going. Yeah, I told her to fuck off. You guys gotta grow up, bro. Mentally and emotionally. As far as your age, that happens without you doing anything. You're just getting older. You're not getting wiser. You're not getting smarter. You're just getting older. The one's my age. That means her father's in his 60s. Whatever health issues he's having, it's called wear and tear. You begging the internet because you're afraid of his health issues and what his life holds doesn't help. It helps you. It's all mental for you. You allow yourself to think, oh, well, their prayers will help. That's you putting power outside of you into strangers. Anytime someone says pray for me, it's because their faith is weak. and they don't have acceptance for what's happening in their life. They're begging others to invocate God on their behalf. The question is, why is God not there already? Why do we have to intervene with what God is doing in your life? As I sit here with my hands in prayer, I don't think you guys understand what that means. Sending your prayers and praises to God. Your worries and burdens, you give it to Him, not to us. You don't put it on us. It's nothing we can do. We're supposed to comfort you through this time. So you're looking for attention. Is it you that's suffering or your father? Why is your father suffering? And why isn't God with him? Simplistic questions, people, for whoever you are. Think about it. What are you asking? You're asking for more time. You're asking for better health. You're asking for a full recovery. Why? You want them to stay here longer and suffer longer. That's what you want. You won't let them go. You won't let them have peace. You won't let them rest in the bosom of God and let this life be over. You need more from them. You can't live without them. Your dad's gonna die, bro. And you're gonna have to live without him. And if you don't figure this out before he dies, you're gonna have a hard afterlife. These aren't your people, bro. They're God's people, and they put in their time, they put in their energy, and then they get to go home. And you don't get to sit here begging God to keep them stuck on this planet because you need them. You need the comfort of them so that you can make it through another day. That's not what He made them for. They're a blessing to you, not your own fucking personal, you know what I mean, energetic fucking supply. You're a vampire. You didn't care about them until they started diminishing. And the only reason you care that they're diminishing is because of what you'll lose, not the fact that they're leaving this life and they're finishing their days. You can't accept that they've done all their work. You have more work for them. You do, not God. You want them to stay. Going back to Pac and Kobe, you guys wanted him to stay. You want them to be here so that they can serve you, so they can inspire you, so they can give you something to live for. They gave the world their life. You're selfish, all of you, for making someone else's life, you know what I mean? You're making yourself dependent on someone else's life. That's their life. That's their contract. How dare you ask them to stay on this planet longer, suffering, because you don't want to suffer without them. Let them go. The only way out of this fucking shithole is death. And we can't force it. And when God comes to get us out of here, then you be grateful. You be grateful that He's come to get us. So there's a lot under the full moon and the Friday the 13th energy. I did a reading last night and more than half of it was gone. I pulled 3 cards. I didn't even finish the video. Didn't even finish the first one. What were the cards last night? They're right on top. We pulled the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, and we pulled Justice. And then we pulled the World. You can ask my kids. They were here when I did it. They're right on top. That was last night. Is this not today too? I'm going to read these out of the book without testimony. Each card, because you missed it. Went to the Ace of Wands. What does that mean? New manifestations. I will today finish up the tarot. We'll do the Suit of Wands. You need to have willpower to get through life. I'm going to show you how to use that willpower with plenty of testimony. Let's talk about the Justice. The figure of justice embodies the natural law of the universe, which are immutable. They cannot be appealed against or set aside. No prayers are going to stop what's happening in that man's body. Unless God says. And that's where it is. She's selfish, bro. However old he is, and you can hear her in all her videos, her dad's at her house watching her babies. She won't have a babysitter if dad dies. She won't have a friend if dad dies. She won't have an excuse if dad dies. She'll have to move on with her life and stop making it about him. The Justice card appears at the halfway point of the major arcana and reflects the fact that the universe maintains a perfect balance. Every action causes a reaction, and this can be expressed in the karmic law that states that all deeds, whether good or evil, carry the seed of their own justice. Karma does not apportion blame or illness. For example, it's not retribution for sin. He's not suffering for something he did. His body is dying. He's suffering because the body is giving out. Soon, God will pull his soul out of there and end the suffering. You can't fix the body after an age. It's going to deteriorate. The only way that soul can live on is to pull it out of that body. The soul lives on. The body dies. Kobe and Pac are completely alive. In my heart and the hearts of those that connect with them. You can't connect with them because your heart is wicked and cold. And your mind doesn't believe. They call it something simplistic as necromancy. That's not what we call it in the spiritual world. It's being spiritual and being part of the spirits and never leaving them and them never leaving you. But simply because you have passed through, or because your past actions and thoughts, simply means that your past thoughts and actions are shaping your present, and you will reap the consequences of your present thoughts and actions in the future. That's why I teach you to clear your mind and quit thinking about negativity. You're bringing it in. One of the earliest lessons the Fool learned is that you attract what you focus on. That's it. Whatever you're giving energy to is coming at you. If you focus on illness, you will attract that illness. That goes for NF's wife. She will get, and her children will get breast cancer. I've seen it. Why? She put too much focus on it. She focused so much on her sister's breast cancer and how terrible it would be and all this. She gave it all the energy. She planted the seed. It will happen in her body. And that's why she's a freak about putting in all this stuff, trying to keep her body perfect. She knows that she has genetics that are going to kill her. She's trying to, self-medicate before it happens. How are you going to, and that's why she's doing it with her kids. If I just keep them healthy, they'll be happy. No, you give them some fucking chocolate, they'll be happy. You're stupid. You can't avoid what's coming. In essence, you don't have boobs to begin with. What's the problem? If you focus on illness, you will attract that illness. If you fret about poverty, you will attract that poverty. And that's it, you guys. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm running out of money. I'm running out of money. You're just going to run out faster talking like that. If you give out negativity, you get negativity in return. That's why I'm not going to work. Ultimately, it's not anything. I know what's going to happen. Every bad thing is going to come to me, and I'm going to lose my shit. I don't need to do that at work. I can do that out in the regular world, bro. I can lose my shit not at work. In essence, I know how this works, dude. And it's going to be everyone else. It has nothing to do with me. It's Friday the 13th. This energy is going to hit everybody. And the full moon, you're going to be acting like fucking maniacs today. Nobody should be outside with this energy. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to go outside and have a great day away from the world. Taking my kids and we're getting the fuck out of this matrix for a day. This tells us about the importance of the purest of motives and thoughts, deeds, and energies we send out into the universe, because they will return in equal measure. What am I thinking right now? God's going to give me a new job. God's got a new task. I'm not thinking about the end. It's over. I'm thinking about the future. I'm keeping my eye on God and what He'll do next. Not, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know. What do you got for me next, God? What do you want me to do next? What's my next challenge? What's my next feat? I'm not creating this life. You show me what you've created for me, and I will walk in your creation. People think that manifestations and being an alchemist is being in full control. No, it's working with the divine. That's you in your own flesh, trying to have control, trying to play God. Being a divine being is being part of the divine. I'm not set apart, and in essence, I am goddess. There's not another goddess. If I don't see myself bigger and better than, then you shouldn't either. I'm part of the divine. An intricate part, not set apart, but playing part with it. A different part. What you think you will become. This tells us about the importance of our purest of motives and thoughts and deeds. and the energies we send out into the universe, because they will return in equal measure. And this is the action of justice. I'm seeing Russ. Always thinking he's not good enough makes him not good enough. That's it. You'll never be good enough because you don't think you're good enough. And then you trying to lie and say you're better than someone else makes you less than everybody else. You're trying to put your thoughts out in there, force your thoughts onto people. But all you're doing is forcing your thoughts onto yourself. You're trying to force this narrative onto people, but you're forcing a narrative onto yourself. Your words affect you, not me. I mean, to a certain extent. To know this is to be empowered. In a reading, the Justice card may indicate a difficult choice with far-reaching consequences. And that's it. Me quitting my job. Huge consequences. Me freaking telling Marshall that I won't deal with him in this lifetime. Huge. If he doesn't have me, he has no one, and that's the same with all those 12. I came here for them, to get them out of hell. If they don't walk with me, they walk lonely through hell. They have no way out. They have no connection to God. They don't know how to do this work. They don't have it in them. Why? Because they don't have divine feminine energy in their lives. Without a divine feminine to guide them through that energy, they will not inherit that energy. So as I told him, I'm not carrying you in this fucking life. I've carried you through eternity, motherfucker. All of them. Every life. It's me that gets you through it. No, it's God that gets us. That's not me. I'm not God. I will never claim that. But he gave me to you to help you get through life. Lucifer doesn't serve me anymore. I don't need someone to keep company with me in hell. As I leave hell, you're gonna have to keep company with the other hellions. None of them have a connection with God. Absolutely none of them. Going back to Mike's study, he said you don't have to be religious to be spiritual. You can't be spirit without having a spirit. Idiot. Everything you do is out of pride, power, control, and success. So you can turn to someone and show them, look what I've done. Look at what God's doing, is where we stand. We don't care about your works. We care about how God works in people's lives and how they work with God. You can bust your ass over and over and over again, but it won't mean shit. That goes back to the 10-day forecast. I don't respect your movements. You're moving against the flow of energy, which means you're going nowhere. You can't push the world a different direction. You can't stop the sun from rising. You can't stop the wind from blowing. You can't stop God by pretending to be God. You have no control over this world. But you're trying to control everything and everyone. This sounds way worse than it did last night. I was laughing and joking all the way through last night's reading. The immediate gratification of desire is tempting. For example, but what will the long-term consequence be? It's no good to try to blame others at a later date for the course of action that you have chosen. Who are you going to blame for your life? And that's Marshall. He wants to blame someone. His mom, his girlfriend, his wife. That's Russ. That's everyone. You want to put the blame on someone. This is why I can act this way. I'm allowed to act this way because of this. Act a fool, I guess, right, Kanye? It's justifiable, or are you just trying to prove yourself? Explain yourself. When you can't explain this, you know it was wrong. You're just trying to justify it. And that's fucking Russ. Russ is all over the internet. Started a huge fire over there talking shit about Timberland and the AI fucking artists. Again, picking a fight with invisibles. Invisible fucking artists are threatening his position. Reverse. Justice reverse indicates dishonesty, injustice, and imbalance. You may feel that you've been treated unfairly, but you need to examine your own role in the events and accept some responsibility. That's where I am with my job. You can be wrong. Me being here doesn't make it right. Me trying to change it doesn't make it right. That's it. I feel sick to my stomach. I feel really sick. It's moving through my it's moving through my chakras. That's what that is. Give me a second. I think I'm going to throw up. Also, sometimes I'll cough hard enough and it'll just come up. What is it? Anxiety, a lot of energy. It's in my stomach. It's pushing everything up, which would be my coffee. I didn't put anything else in there. That's just it. I mean, like, I don't want to point fingers. I'm tired of pointing fingers. I don't even want to look at you. That's all I'm going to say. Let's just move on to the world card. The world is the last card in our freaking book. On my book, it's called the universe. This card is perfect harmony and happiness as you connect to the universal flow of life, bringing health and vitality. It marks a great achievement, never a small one, accomplished by the right action, patience, and wisdom. All that you have striven for is yours. The understanding gained through experience may now be used to help others in your inner purpose aligned with your outer life. And that's it. What did I learn from this job? I learned my value, the value of the work that I do, and that I will not be devalued by, you know what I mean, mediocre workers. I don't need to stand out. I stand out on my own. I don't need to fucking dumb myself down to work like other people, is what I learned. I'm a harder worker than others, and because of that, I can't just work anywhere. You know what my son said? He said, go get a job at the thrift store. That sounds great. I like the thrift store. I like organizing. I like stuff. You know what I mean? That's it. It's like, do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Don't do something that doesn't make you happy, bro. You're doing it because of, you know, desperation. That's what I said yesterday in my video, and that's exactly why, you know, people like Russ and, you know, Kanye are out here pushing product. They're desperate. He said it in his last video. He has to make this work because his whole family is dependent off of those songs. He's not doing it to be creative. He's doing it out of desperation. Same with Marshall and Kanye. They're not doing it for financial independence or anything, creativity. They're doing it for clout, to maintain a position or gain a position based on the shit that comes out of their mouth. And it's garbage. It's all competitive, low vibrational, backbiting, gossiping, you know what I mean? Overinflated fucking egotism that comes through their music. I'm not against rap. I'm not against rappers. But I am against these thugs. Pew, pew, pew. I just want to point out, Boy Thugs and Harmony told Eminem he wasn't shit about 25 years ago. It was, which was it? Busy that said it specifically. It's like, you ain't shit, bro. You're just out here throwing a fit about every black rapper that you ain't. Is you is or is you ain't, nigga. Right? That's all it is. He wants your respect, not your friendship. Why? Because he lacks respect for himself. And I meant what I said about your daughter. She's useless. She did nothing with her life but talk shit on the mic and go ride a dick. She's gonna ride that dick into the future. She's married now and she's got daddy's money. She's not gotta do shit. This bitch ain't never gonna have a job, an experience, a real life. She's a mom. That's her life. Way to go, Eve. I hope you can hold this man down better than your mom did. You talk shit. You think Royce's little brats are gonna grow up to be anything? They got a fucking unemployed mother and a shit-talking father. A bunch of dope fiend fucking, you know, parents and shit with no moral scruples, fucking integrity. Royce married, it's the same as the rest of them. A bunch of unemployed women that are supposed to make you good. They add value to you? Why? Because they suck you off and make babies for you that they don't take care of? Really? Yeah. Though one cycle has completed, another is about to begin. The universe is in a constant dance of change and fluctuation, movement, decay, and renewal. Once I get these motherfuckers out of my way, I'm gonna get a real one. I know how this works. The quicker I get rid of you, the quicker God gives me something better. I'm doing everything I can to get rid of you. You're holding me back. I'd say you're holding yourself back, but that's not true because you're not going anywhere. It's not about self-sabotage. It's about self-liberation, bro. There's no future believing in men like this. There's no future for them on their own, let alone someone on the outside supporting them. Marshall, Royce, and fucking Kanye are approaching 60 very quickly. Alright, not fully. But still. We're going to be praying for you and your health in no time at all. All that money isn't going to buy you more time. Isn't going to make up for the shit life you had. All the negativity that you put in this. All that means is that it's coming to get you in the next life. You thought your childhood sucked this life, Marshall. Wait till the next one. You'll repeat it. Because you didn't learn from any of it. It will be done and even harder to you. You will suffer an even worse childhood because this one you didn't learn from. And that's to the rest of you. Your life will be worse the next time because you didn't learn from it this time. Meaning it wasn't bad enough. You didn't get it. This relationship wasn't bad enough for you to leave, so we'll give you a worse one. This job wasn't bad enough for you, so we'll give you a worse one. And that's why I didn't go to work. You didn't get this, so we're going to make it worse on you until you get it. Is that the devil or is that God? Most of you won't get it in this life, and I'll see you in the blink of an eye as a child in the next life. And I will be able to reach you as a child and teach you. But you can't teach these old dogs no new tricks, bro. They're just old. They're gonna die the way they are. Put a diaper on them until that God comes to get them. The universe suggests that you have come close to completion, but lose your focus and take the easier path, fail, or abandon the project altogether. This can apply to your spiritual life as well as your mundane. You must ask yourself what fear or blockages caused you to choose failure. Anything worthwhile is not achieved without dedication, patience, challenge, hardship, and courage. Oh man, so that's where we are. Real world justice endings. Alright, where are we? We're in Fortuna. Let me get my book. Oh, God. We're in Fortuna. Oh, not Black Arts. I mean, we're in that too. Let's see. Reclaim Your Dark Goddess. I went to Seridwin. That's a good one. We're in Fortuna, which is... Fortuna announces herself with huge changes, sudden upheavals, and genuine loss that may induce a dark night of the soul. You will know her dark energy is near if you encounter any of the following: redundancy, debt recovery, eviction, the end of a relationship, betrayal, poor health, an accident, a loss of a limb, a break-in, bad news, the death of a family member, friend, pet, or a pandemic. Will you choose to hang on to drama and the unexpected, to be a slave to your emotions, or will you choose to experience pure contentment 24/7? When we pass over, we take with us our emotions and feelings, which is why it's so important to be peaceable. Don't hold on to anything you wouldn't want to spend an eternity with. Learn to forgive and let go of obsessions and worries. I just turned to that. Let's see. Invocations. Let's see. Honoring and connecting with Fortuna. Nope, not there. You may have unwittingly called in Fortuna when she heard you complain that this is not fair. Making random choices, expressing desires for excitement and adventure, asking for abundance, financial help, or security, obsessing over material gain, demanding entitlement, becoming stagnant and not going with the flow, becoming selfish, not sharing, gambling with your life, wishing for wealth and fame, holding on to your possessions too tightly, wishing to be like another, secretly wishing for a new relationship, career, or any life changer. Hope not to lose all that you hold dear. The Rota Fortunae can throw you up very high and bring you down very low. And the secret of life's victories and defeats is to be indifferent to the outcome. You may not be able to predict or avoid the change Fortuna will bring, but you can prepare for the idea of change itself. Be open to the outcome and trust whatever she places you on the wherever she places you on the wheel is deliberate and purposeful. You may have subconsciously called her on a soul level when you wish to be more spiritual and magical, to step into your life purpose, to be a better version of yourself, or for a new start. Before you can rise again, the Dark Goddess will go to extreme measures to ensure that you are stripped of all that was once familiar to you and take away anything you are holding too tightly onto. Her lesson is to let go, to have no attachments to anyone or anything, or the outcome of any situation. The Dark Goddess sees the strings that hold you back like a prisoner and enforces you to surrender as she takes away the very things you are holding on to for dear life. I am Fortuna. I'm not Fortuna. I never played her, but I teach you this as the goddess. This is God taking away everything from you to get you right. There's no devil. This is God, or the Dark Goddess. Everything inside of you will want to fight the change. You will try with all your might and will to push and pray it away. But the more you do this, the more painful it will become. And that's it. Please don't make me quit this job. I've worked so hard. The more I go there, the more painful it will become. They've showed me that this is no good for me. Me trying to make it work is me going against the truth. They've showed me. I know the truth. Why am I holding on? Because I don't want to have nothing. It's better to have nothing than something that's holding you back. The second I let this job go, God will give me an idea of what's better for me to do. Another challenge, nevertheless. But that's it. It's like your relationships suck and you keep trying to fake them. You're like, I'll make it through. I don't want it to end. That's all that's wrong with you. You don't want an ending. Because you don't know about a new beginning. You think an ending is it. It just ends. We die. We're going to die if this is over. No, there's more life to be had after the grieving. Surrendering is not weakness. To find freedom, you must surrender to the process. In order to win, to survive, you must resist fighting it. And that's it, trying to have control over the things you don't. All I did was buy myself more time by not going in today. Why? Because the DMs don't work today. So that means that if without having this conversation, the shit would have ended today. I can work 2 more shifts tomorrow. But when they come to me on Monday and we have that conversation, it's over. I'm just buying a little bit more time before it's over. And that's all you can do. This relationship's over. I'll play nice and keep it going for a little bit longer, but it's just over. You've got to accept, dude. No, you don't want to. Come on, God, I did my best. I'm like their best employee. Yeah, you did your best. Now it's time to go. Here, this will bring you unhappiness. This will make everything worse. Come on, God. God giveth, God taketh, bro. It's just a challenge in a season. This wasn't supposed to be forever. But then you see the possibilities. Oh, I could work this job, and then I can get into a house, and I can do this, and I can do this, and this will be my happily ever after. Hold up, bitch. Hold up, bitch. I gave you a challenge, not a future. Truthfully. And for me, the second I get attached is the second he has to pull me off of it. Because the longer I hold on to it, the harder it'll be to pull me off of it. Attachment is the biggest problem with life. If you get attached, you have to detach. It's your weakness. You're a parasite. You want to hold on to everything. I did too. I wanted this to work. I want my relationships to work. I want everything I do to work and to work beautifully. That's why I cried to you, dude. I know what it feels like for nothing to work. Everything you do doesn't work. Because you're working against God. It's not that you're a bad worker and you're not worth good things. It's that you're working towards things that don't make you happy. And it's not going to work. That's all that means. But it's painful to learn this. Fortuna came into my dreams last night, and I dreamt I was on top of the world as people queued to offer me gifts and everything I had wished for. I was being honored and praised and treated like a queen, and I felt wonderful and was so happy. Suddenly, the foundation beneath me started to shake, and everything I was gifted disappeared into the cracks of the earth. I tried to reach for them in desperation until a figure of a rose came to me. She was taller than the world itself and held up a rota fortunae. Blinded, she spun the wheel and I started to fall. Just as I was about to scream, I remembered what Fortuna had said to me the day I decided to let go. I allowed myself to free fall among the chaos. Soon it was as though I was floating on the clouds, and my descent was slowly gentle and serene. That's what I tried to say. I didn't see it like this. I see myself in the fucking middle of the ocean. And I'm trying so hard to just live, dude. Just let me stay above. I can just stay above. I can stay above the water. They told me, just take one last breath and let go. And I did. I visualized it. I visualized I'm going to drown. Just take a breath and let go and fall to just see how far you fall into the abyss. And I fell into the water. And when I opened my eyes, I was standing on the beach. The way out was to let go. I was never going to get out of that water and on my own 2 feet until I let go. And then I was out of the water and on my own 2 feet on a sunny day when I finally stopped fighting and let go and let God, accepted that this was going to fall apart and I couldn't hold it together anymore. When was that? That was at the hotel. I was trying so hard to keep a roof over our head. I got to a point where I even had to beg. I was doing everything every day to pay that rent room, and it was killing me. And God said, just go, just let it go. Call Mr. Plum and go ask him if you can stay down there. I can't do that, God. I can't go back after all this with nothing and start all over. Look him in the face that I've wasted a year of my life. And going back was the best decision I'd made. I needed to. I was so tired. I couldn't figure it. I was exhausted trying to figure it out every day. I cried for myself because I tried. You have no idea what it was like, though. You do. To have the fear of homelessness. If I don't do this, we're gonna be homeless. We're gonna be in my car. And now you look back at it. I spent all that time trying to avoid being homeless in my car, only for God to turn around and do it to me. My biggest fear was I'm going to end up homeless in my car. If I don't get this together, we're going to be living out of my car. I didn't realize that I already had been for 2 years. I was so afraid of what already was. I just didn't accept it. I was afraid of accepting it until Bobby asked me. And then I had to I had to tell the truth. I had to walk in my own truth. It wasn't, am I homeless now? Is when he said it, I realized I had to say, I've been homeless since I left my house. I've had, but that wasn't true. I always had a place to lay and I had places to call home. But that was my biggest fear. And my biggest fear became reality. I just couldn't see I was living my biggest fear. And I was overcoming it. People don't believe me. They look at me and they're like, no way. Yeah, I spent the whole fucking winter in my car, bro. I'm currently in a homeless shelter right now. They don't believe that. Especially, the way I walk and talk and look. And it just changes their perspective. It's like, I thought homeless people look like this. I thought homeless people act like this. I thought this is what homeless people are. Homeless people aren't a particular thing. Anybody can be homeless. And they can lose their home by no fault of their own. That's not what happened to me. God asked me to give it up. Like this job, like my family, like my friends, like my music. He asked me to give up a lot of things. But every time I do, the rewards are much more than the things I've lost. It's scary. I'm not scared this time, but I can feel the fear. What if I don't have this, then what am I gonna have? That's where you have to have faith. And that's where his wonders come in and show you. You gotta let go, guys. You gotta let God. And it's terribly terrifying because you're afraid. You're just afraid of the unknown. What's gonna happen now? Where am I supposed to go from here? It's too early on a Friday for me to have any answers. The only answer is the fight. All you can do on a Friday is fight the good fight and do what he says. It doesn't feel good, bro. To do the right thing. You only feel good about it later. All these years I gave it to Marshall. This doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to come to the reality that he's not whatever I thought he could be. And I need to move on so I can be with someone better than what I thought he could be. You have to believe it to see it, bro. You have to believe in something you can't see. And you have to never give up on that belief. I have to believe if I let you go, God will finally bring me something good. And if you keep that kind of belief, you can't just push people away and get rid of them, and God's he's gonna bring them back, or he's gonna bring that same lesson in another person. But when God says, give it to me, you gotta give it kind and know that he's gonna give you something better in return. But it doesn't feel good when he's asking you to give up things. You gotta be strong. I don't want it, God. That's your skin. Your heart knows what you've gotta do and why you gotta do it. It's your flesh that don't want to do it. And that's where you gotta tap into your spirit to give you, willpower to do the things you think you cannot do. The things you just don't want to. I don't want to give up my car. I don't want to give up my friends. I don't want to give up my music. I don't want to give up my life. But he promised me a better life if I do it, and he is giving me a better life by doing it. No, it's not a life that people want. But I'm finding my happiness along the way, and that's what makes it better than where I came from. There was no happiness where I came from. Just hard work and petty rewards. Right? So, Fortuna, why do I say this? Let me tell you from the first page. Let's see. Her date, festival date, is the 11th of June. And then the it says For's Fortuna is 24th of June. We're in her energy. It's a hard game to play, bro. And I pulled it. That Wheel of Fortune was when I pulled that first one. Choice is but an illusion. Don't you see? Your fate lies in the hands wherever I spin the wheel. You may feel like the luckiest person alive, but when all seems to go your way. But when a blow strikes, it can feel like the end of your world. The message of La Rue de Fortuna is to be completely indifferent to both victory and defeat. Living by this rule of acceptance masters the inevitable hands of fate. If you can take what God throws at you, then you're going to be fine.
is what this means. Can you take what life throws at you and not lose your shit? And that's what I mean about Marshall. He couldn't handle life. He lost his fucking divinity and talked shit the whole way through life. Mike Stud, bro, God took away his whole music, and all he did was rebuild it bigger and better. Do you think he did what God wanted him to do, or he did what he wanted to do because he wasn't ready to let go of this? Do you think that he won? Do you think he beat God by rebuilding his career? What's he going to have to do? He'll either have to sacrifice it, or God's going to take it away again. It was his choice. God didn't tell him to rebuild it. Not yet. He would have wanted him to sing his praises. But that's not what Mike Stud's doing. He's praising himself and, doing it for success. Every shirt, every hat, every song is just to build up his financial portfolio. He's not doing it for anything else. He wants it. He wants everything that he lost times 10. I have nothing to say about that. Let's see. Living by this rule of acceptance masters the inevitable hands of fate, for I can be unjust and a cruel goddess as well as fair and generous. It's time for you to get your reactions in check and realize that the cards you have been dealt are lessons purposefully designed for your learning, understanding, spiritual growth, and evolvement. When you envy someone else who rides high, know that it could all change with just one spin of the wheel and propel you into the same dizzy heights of fate, or maybe fall just as hard. Accept the outcome bravely and with indifference, and you'll find that you're soaring through life no matter where you've been placed upon this wheel. That's mainly where most of my respect and admiration comes from. How can you just take it? How can you live in chaos like this? How can you overcome this? And that's what they say all the time, is the things, the challenges that God put me through would kill you. You could never make it through this because you don't have the right mentality. What is the mentality? It's a Mamba mentality. No matter what, I'm going to get better from this. It's not about winning. It's not about winning. You learn so much more about yourself losing. And that's, Lewis. Lewis had to learn. He spent his whole life winning. He didn't know what it meant to be a loser. He had no idea what it felt like to be a loser. He couldn't have compassion for something he didn't understand. He can't have compassion for those of us that just lose at life. He couldn't have compassion for that. He didn't understand, and that's Kobe. And then Kobe has to learn through me too, even in afterlife. If he didn't learn it through me in the afterlife, he'd be here and have to learn it too. And that's what it is. I carry their contracts. They will learn their lessons through me, and they won't have to come back and relearn these lessons. But they have to make it a little easier. Not easier. They have to guide. It's our lessons that you were going to learn on your life all by yourself. But I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to teach you, and all glory to God. But that's something that Kobe had to learn the hardest. No matter how good he was, bro, he couldn't make the team win. He realized that it wasn't about being the best, but creating the best environment around him. He realized that. And that's what I realized, and that's why I cried to him yesterday. It doesn't matter how good I am at this job. If I'm not working with hard workers, then I'm going to lose. I'm the only one losing. I'm the only one that cares. When that team lost, who do you think it hurt more? The coaches or Kobe? The fans or Kobe? When Lewis loses a race, who do you think it hurts more? Him or the team? Him. The team will pick themselves up and race again. It's taken Lewis a lot more to pick himself up after every loss. And it's out of his control. He is the best Formula One driver that ever was. And he can't win being that. If he could accept that he's just in a losing energy and learn to understand that this is what I'm here to do, is lose, then he could find more peace in it. But he refuses to accept that he's a loser, that he's losing. He'll continue to lose and be a loser until he can accept this truth. Doesn't mean that he's a loser inside. It means that he's been put on a loser, he's been put on that road. We've all gone down that road, dude. No matter what we do, we can't get it right. Nothing works out. It's completely out of our power, and we're not good enough to make things better, is how you feel. And that's where you realize it wasn't you. Fortuna makes you realize that it's not you. You never had control to begin with. All those great things that happened in your life were God. Lewis is like, how am I not good enough? It wasn't that you're not good enough. You're still just as good. This is God. You're not God. All that winning was God. All this losing is God. You take on the role of God, and he doesn't appreciate that. He's going to throw things at you guys. It's called the trials and tribulation days. Let me say this again. Completely identify, let's see. Let's see. Realize that the cards you have been dealt are lessons purposefully designed for your learning, your understanding, your spiritual growth, and your evolvement. The lesson I'm learning right now with my job, people are not learning. They're still going through this. The difference between me and you is I'm learning the lesson. Many of you aren't going to learn this lesson, that you are more valuable than the job you do. And you will devalue yourself at a job you do just because of desperation. I must learn this lesson and teach it to others so that you can learn what you're not learning, so you can overcome this and go on to your next lesson. The next lesson, the blessing is overcoming the lesson and being wiser and stronger for the next lesson. God is he's only preparing me for the next job, whatever that may be. This is a hard lesson to learn in difference. I mean, again, this is my 3rd year riding this wave. I should do it better. After a couple of years, you get better at it, and that's it. Kobe says it, After 5-6 years, you'll be better at this. I won't be the best, because we can always get better. We can always perfect things to evolve it into a better form. It's kind of my daughter. She draws a lot of. She's an artist by pen and paper. She draws, and she can always make it better. She can always add more to it to make it better. She can change it completely by just adding more to it. It never makes it worse. She's only adding more to her picture. Your life isn't going to get worse. You can only add more to it. As they say, there's only one way from here, and that's up. If you're in an 8-foot grave and you're only 5'3", you're not going to get out of there. You have to save your strength and wait until God comes to get you out. If you sit there scratching at the walls, you're only digging your grave deeper. You're using up all your energy. You're going to become hungry. You're going to become tired. You're going to become scared. You're going to become wore out. Just sit there for a minute. God knows you're sitting in this grave. Whether you dug it yourself or he dug it for you. He's going to teach you how to Dougie. Is what that was a good one. He's going to come get you out of there when you learn your lesson. Why do they put people in jail? To learn their lesson. When do they say they're out? When you sit in front of a parole board and you've shown them that you learned their lesson. They have to see that you know your lesson, that you've learned your lesson while sitting here. If not, back to your room. That's God. That's reality. If you don't learn your lesson, you can't go back out there. Until Lewis learns his lesson, he won't win another race. What's the lesson? To accept that he's not a winner, that God is. To give power back. Right now, he's taking the power, he's taking of I'm a loser. No, you're in a losing season, and that's okay. You know, George Russell spent the first, 5-6 years of his career as a loser. But he knew that he had to go through all that losing to win. It didn't matter how many he knew every time he got in that car he was going to lose. But he kept getting in the car because he knew one day he would get in a different car. Then there's people, like Yuki. Oh, poor guy. You know what I mean? That's just it. It's like, some of them accept it. I'm not going to win this race, but I'm going to race. And that's why they have a better race than those that are trying to win. They're just living life, bro. They're having a better life because they're not trying to win it. They're just trying to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Nobody comes off of that fucking race as devastated as Lewis. Nobody. He's devastating his own reality because of his feelings. He has to heal them. This is mad programming in his head that he ain't shit if he ain't winning. He's got to realize that he's very powerful and he's still loved. He's still important even when he's losing. And, through our twin flames, I hope that you're learning through us. Going back to, Bobby and all of them, it's like, I'm still a good person. I'm still deserving of love. I'm still a priestess. I'm still a good mother. I'm still all these great things. Just because I don't have the things you have doesn't make me, less of. Would you still have been a nice, good person living out of your car? Or would you have gotten pretty scandalous and grimy? What would you have done to get out of your car? Would you have let God do that to you and praise him for it and be grateful for what he did? You didn't see that in that video last night, but I cried for about 30 minutes about, how grateful I was he gave me that opportunity to be close to my kids. Like, now they don't want nothing to do with me. I can't get them to cuddle. I can't get a hug. I couldn't beg them to play a board game with me. But he put us together where we could be together. And now, 15 and 14, they're, thank God he gave us that. He had to put us in a dark place for me to have some light, to have some good memories of, curled up with my kids. Oh, geez, I'm remembering this time I gave my son a burrito, and, oh, God, he kept farting, and we were dying. He thought it was hilarious. He laughed every time. He knew he was going to fart and we were going to die in that car, and he would start laughing, and we would die. Like, open the doors, I'm going to die. Just little things like that. We had fun. We got close. We had adventures. We never separated. We literally slept together, curled up in the back seat, taking turns. If it wasn't me curled up with them, it was them curled up with each other. We were closer than we've ever been, and that's why God did that, so we could become close again. I'm grateful for it, and that's what it is. Can you be grateful in the darkness? Can you be grateful through the trials, through the tribulations? Can you be faithful to God when He's testing you? It doesn't feel good. You'll not really know how strong you've become until the end of it. You just stay strong while you're going through it. And that's what people always say, you're so strong. I'm weak. I have to be strong. And that's why you think I am, but you hear me crying. This is some weak-ass shit, God. This is some weak-ass shit that you're asking me to do. I can't do this. I'll give you the strength to do it. Then you do it and you feel weak. You feel totally weak. You feel terribly weak. But in that weakness, everybody says you're so strong. It's not how I feel. The polarities of things is pretty intense. With that being said, I'm going to have some breakfast and, I don't know. I got a lot going on in my forefront. I got to deal with something with my daughter that I've been avoiding for a long time. The job, Marshall, whatever else is coming to the surface. We got to stop running from it and just accept it. Just deal with it. You know, my daughter did something this morning, and I just want to point this out to you. Some people will never let you off the cross. So I was mad at her for what's going on with her phone. And instead of, she always does this, and we're going to get to the point of this later, she wouldn't take accountability for what I was mad about. She wouldn't take that this is, your actions are setting me off, and you won't accept that your actions are inappropriate. When I tried to point the finger at her, she goes back and she points the finger at me. Well, when you were my age, you did this, and you did this, and you did this. And I kept screaming at her, 7 o'clock in the morning. You stay in the here and now. We're not talking about me. We're talking about you right now. You're not going to point fingers at how I was and how everybody else gets away with this. You're not going to use me or anybody else as an excuse to your behaviors. You're going to acknowledge your behaviors right now. You're not going to say, oh, well, you got to, and they got to, and everybody else gets to. I didn't have a mother that cared about me, that didn't stop me from doing such things. She didn't care what I did. She didn't care about me. I care about you. Those girls and those boys that are out there doing that, their parents don't care. I care about what's happening. I care enough to get in between it. My mom could not. She tried to stop me and my boyfriend. She said I couldn't see him, and she grounded me for a week. After that week, I threw my stuff out the back window and I ran away to Mexico with that boyfriend. I came back married and pregnant, and I had my own house. She could not control me anymore. In fact, within a couple of weeks, she lost her stability and had to live off of me. The roles changed real fast. That's not what's happening right now. And that's it. It's like, you know, some people are going to try to use your old you against you when you try to hold them to the fire. Well, what about you? What about me? You want to end up like me? You want to end up 16 and pregnant? What I did was not right. I did the best I could do, and now I'm here cleaning it up. Well, it wasn't right. Look at your brother and sister. That wasn't right for them. Because I wanted someone to, you know what I mean? To run away. I wanted someone to love me. Because my mom didn't. Just want you guys to know that, dude. People don't forget the past. And they're going to use it against you. And you can allow them to and feel terrible about your past if you're still in your past. But when you've overcome it and you're not that same person, you don't let them hold you to that person. Marshall Mathers, Royce, Russ, Lewis, Logic, all my twin flames are the same person. Kanye West is the same person since we started. I will hold you to the fire. Until you change, there's no... here comes Puck. I see no changes. Wonder why. You're no better than you were because you are what you are. You have not changed. You want us to, you know, acknowledge your development, but you haven't developed in anything. You're just getting older. Kim Kardashian has no more respect just by getting a degree. All that means is you studied enough to get a certificate. That doesn't make you a better person. You are still exhibiting the same insecure fucking behaviors. You being a fucking, you know what I mean? You being Kim Kardashian that's over there trying to compete with women and trying to throw women, trying to body shame for the rest of life doesn't make you a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. You're not a better person. You're still the same person with the same problems that you're pushing onto your children. You have forced this onto Kanye West's daughter. You have forced this girl to fucking sit there like Russ, the industry for attention. Why? Because you yourself are too busy trying to get industry fucking attention to give your own children attention. How can you be a good mother of 6 when you're constantly trying to run the internet? And then you have their father, who's not a father of any of them. How can Kanye West be a good man when he can't even be a father to his children? Why would he be a respectable rapper or designer or anything that doesn't care for his children? You guys are sick, bro. And your kids are going to carry the same thing. They're going to be sick parents, too, that don't care for their children. Passed on and passed on and passed on. You're too busy trying to assert yourself in this world to be a good parent. Me providing for my children didn't make me a good parent. Just want you to know that. And that goes back to Haley Mathers. That girl is completely mental. Mental people hide it. They come out looking normal, right? You guys think she has a perfect life. How could she? Growing up in that life. Has she done anything to overcome it? And that's it, exactly what I said. She came out just like her father. She had no skills. She's never had a job. She has no purpose. Daddy's going to make sure that she's golden spoon-fed and her grandchild. Why? Because that comes to his pride. If she isn't good, then he isn't good. Spoiling that child doesn't make her good. That's it. All she is married with children now. What'd she do with her life? She's an Eve. Where'd she get that from? Her father. What'd he do with his? He was an Eve. He was in a relationship with someone, trying to make someone else happy. Never found any happiness in his own life. Just out there trying to provide, you know what I mean, for an ex-wife and all their children. Now look at him, nearly 53 years old. He has nothing. What? He's a happy grandfather? You didn't have nothing to do with that. She had a baby out of her vagina, and now you have claim to it? I just, just accept the truth. Stop making it look better than it is. And that's where it is. It's like, I'm tired of trying to make you a better person. You're doing nothing to make yourself a better person. I'm done. Die. Your life is over. You're just holding on. Just holding on. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, that was Friday. It's Friday the 13th. We are in some heavy duty energy. And I gave it to you. I'm going to eat. I'm going to move through this day the best that I can. And I wish you the best. And I hope that you're strong enough to fight your own battles and, let go of the things that are no longer serving you. I hope that you can be brave one day. I don't know. Or just hold on for dear life, I suppose. Hey, happy Friday the 13th. Laters, haters.